Welcome to Nashville's 16th annual Meet Us at the Bridge ceremony. For those who may need Spanish interpretation,
para conectarse al intérprete de nuestra ceremonia, por favor haga clic en la parte inferior de su pantalla donde habrá un círculo que dice Interpretation. Después haga clic en el segundo botón que dice Spanish y por último haga clic en el tercer botón donde dice Mute Original Audio.
if you or someone you love is experiencing domestic violence, you can call the 24-hour hotline for help at 1-800-334-4628. As you know, this year is unique given the pandemic, and we're not able to be together in person for this event, but it is being recorded, and we hope that you will share it with your community. This event is organized by the Nashville Coalition Against Domestic Violence, and we would like to extend our thanks to Jack Bird for his generous donation of the roses used in today's ceremony. To open the event, I would like to welcome the Coalition's president, Mary Catherine Rand.
Good morning. On behalf of the members of the Nashville Coalition Against Domestic Violence, welcome to the 16th annual Meet Us at the Bridge event. The Nashville Coalition Against Domestic Violence was organized in January 1992. Our mission is to promote meaningful interactions among domestic violence advocates and organizations and provide community education to prevent and respond to domestic violence. Meet Us at the Bridge began in 2005 when a few members of the Nashville Coalition Against Domestic Violence wanted to start an event to commemorate Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The event was to have a two-part program to recognize those professionals who have put forth great effort in working to end domestic violence and to create a memorial service for those victims in our community who have lost their lives to domestic violence in the last year. The event has always been on the John Siegenthaler pedestrian bridge at 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning in October. This year may look different due to COVID-19, but our intent is the same. We come from all areas of town, all backgrounds and walks of life, but we gather in solidarity to say enough is enough to domestic violence. In the previous 15 ceremonies, we have recognized many individuals and organizations for their commitment and dedication to our community. And in the previous 15 ceremonies, 135 families have tossed roses from this bridge to recognize lives that have been lost. 80 women, 34 men, 8 girls, and 13 boys. Today, we add another 14 lives to that list, and we will toss roses to honor and remember them.
Tiffany Hawkins founded Victims to Victory in 2012 after coming out of a 13-year abusive relationship that began with verbal and mental abuse, but then turned physical. She still remained quiet and kept to herself until she started seeing mirror images of herself in the young women that she came in contact with. She began speaking out to other women and girls, not making it about her abuser's actions, but about her victory over being victimized for years. At the time, she felt broken, but through grace and the love of her 2 daughters, she found her voice and her strength. After feeling that she was not enough, she created a program focused on teen girls to show them that they were always enough. Her incredible strength, tenacity, and service to the community is why we are proud to present Tiffany Hawkins with the Outstanding Survivor Award.
I am shocked and very grateful for this award. In this field, we never expect to be noticed for the work that we do because it's private. I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of V2V, my team, our board members, and sponsors, and all the time and dedication. I also want to thank my 2 daughters, my grandkids, and Dads Against Destruction, my husband, for their role to plan of helping with the growth of V2V. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany, and congratulations. Now we would like to introduce Captain Michelle Richter, Captain of the Domestic Violence Division of Metro Nashville Police Department.
Thank you for joining us today to remember those who have lost their lives to domestic violence. For our Nashville community, please know that you are surrounded by people and agencies who are trying to do all that they can to end domestic violence and to provide services and support to those in need. This year, our office has already received over 18,000 domestic violence related reports, and we know that it is an underreported crime. We understand that it is difficult to tell a stranger, friend, or a relative that someone you love is hurting you. However, please be mindful that you have a confidential resources available and that you do not need to make a police report to obtain them. You have caring counselors in our office and you have dedicated staff at many other agencies throughout Nashville. Please help us end the silence. I will now read the names, and Susan Tucker Smith from the DA's office will read the statements submitted by the families. Myra Garcia, 38 years old, and Jaden Taylor, 13 years old.
Myra Vanessa Garcia was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, loved and supported her Chicago sports teams, especially the Bulls. She loved spending time with family and enjoying delicious Mexican food. Her 3 children were her reason to live and push forward to be the best she could. She, like many women out in the world, are victims of domestic violence and don't get a second chance to seek help. It is very important to become aware of what is happening in your surroundings, as most cases occur behind closed doors, and nobody truly understands how this can happen to anyone. Jaden Nicholas Taylor, son of Myra, was born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee. He loved traveling and going out to places with family. He loved his tacos and playing basketball and football. He spent most of his time playing video games and playing outside with friends. Sadly, through the midst of what was going on at home, he and his mother did not make it, leaving behind his older sister Alexis and younger sister Caitlin. Domestic violence not only puts you at risk, but also your loved ones around you. With these roses, we remember Myra Vanessa Garcia and Jaden Nicholas Taylor.
Temptress Chippy Peebles, 30 years old.
Dear Mom, I miss you so much. You don't understand how much I love you. I can't believe you're gone. I am so hurt. I wish you were here. Your daughter, Chloe. Temptress was referred to by Chippy. She was a beautiful soul, so loving and kind. She saw no wrong in anyone. She loved to give a second chance to those who didn't deserve it. That was God in her. Words don't express the depth of pain and sorrow she left behind. It seems nothing is left except tears and grief. You are he who took me out of the womb. You make me trust while on my mother's breasts. I was cast upon you from birth. From my mother's womb, you have been my God. Psalm 22, 9 through 13. Love your mom, Karen, Dad, Eric, and your family. With this rose, we remember Temptress Chippy Peebles.
Kaylin Smith, 23 years old.
Kaylin Smith, what was not to love? A unique and distinctive woman, a sacrificial mother to her core, one who lived life on her own terms, fearless, compassionate, and a true giver. Her senseless nature is what made her heart so pure. Committed to everyone she loved, she had a gold star for a heart. Kaylin cherished and loved her boys, Junior and AJ, with a love that only she could provide. There was no stone she left unturned, and nothing she didn't make a way to provide her sons. Today, we honor her memory in energy, communicating to her that we will never forget the essence of her being. We will always love and safeguard her two free-thinking and intellectual children, Junior and AJ. And lastly, we would ever fail to be for her here what she can no longer be physically for herself, and that is a testimony. Kaylin Smith, we miss you, we adore you, we love you, and we yearn for you. Job well done, Queen. We'll take it from here. With this rose, we remember Kaylin Smith.
Maria Flor Salvador, 41 years old.
She was an amazing mother and an excellent human being. She fought with all her might to make sure her children succeeded in life, including myself, her oldest son. She was a brilliant woman, full of life, and so beautiful. We will always remember you, Mom. Your oldest son loves you. With this rose, we remember Maria Flor Salvador.
Jamar Pillow, 47 years old.
My brother, Jamar Ronald Pillow, was a beautiful, complicated genius. I can still see his infectious smile. I miss him, his children, nieces, nephews, great niece, and brother-in-law miss him. My brother was always helping people, even when he was struggling to help himself. My brother had a really big heart and a giving spirit. On December 17th, 2019, my brother was brutally taken from us. There were signs, but because our mom had recently passed, I didn't see them. I ask that anyone listening, don't ignore the signs. Say something, do something. Your loved one's life depends on it. When people are abusive, it's never the last time. It's usually just the beginning. If you do nothing and your loved one's life is taken, you will spend a lot of time wondering if I had only said this or did that. And guilt is a burden that no one should have to bear. It is hard to be okay when your loved one is murdered. You want to know why. You want to make sense of something that is senseless. But we keep going, and we bask in all that was good about Jamar, and it sustains us, if only for a little while. My brother lives on. My brother was an organ donor, and several of his organs went to people who needed his organs to survive, to live. My brother was a blessing to others, even in his death. We love you, Jamar. You will forever be in our memories and in our hearts. With this rose, we remember Jamar Pillow.
Catherine Wilson, 51 years old.
Catherine was so loved. She had the biggest heart and would do anything to help you. She literally would give you the shirt off her back, and she would open her door to anyone. She cared a lot about a lot of people. She would collect toys to give to the neighborhood children, and she even would mow her neighbor's yard. She is greatly missed. With this rose, we remember Catherine Wilson.
Shantan Shanae Clay, 30 years old.
Shantan Shanae Clay. When I say that name, I say it very boldly with respect and pride. She was the true definition of love. Shantan was a remarkable and phenomenal woman who lived her life always giving love and helping others. She was bright, brilliant, humble, loving, understanding, forgiving, compassionate, and genuinely kind-hearted, with an infectious smile that would light up a dim room. She was our sunshine, my morning cup of coffee, my medicine when I was sick. She was the glue to family as well as my daughter and best friend, my life, the one person you could always count on. She was filled with hope and inspiration. Not only was she loved by and showed love to her family and friends, she showed love even to strangers. In her spare time, she would often do volunteer work for an organization called Shower Up. She was actually their first volunteer, and she went on to encourage others to get involved and start donating to the cause, as well as being a leader to another organization called Girl Trek, which inspired African American females to reclaim their health by getting out and walking. She was honored by them in 2018. Shantan loved the outdoor nature, such as hiking, camping, fishing, and rescuing animals, and she loved turtles and dogs, along with traveling and collecting stones. She gave out nothing but positive energy. I often told her that she had an old soul and that she's been here before. I remember having a conversation with her, and she told me that she didn't know what her purpose in life was. And if she was still here on faith with me, I would tell her that she demonstrated throughout her entire life what our Father in heaven placed her here to do on this earth, which was to help and inspire and love unconditionally. And as her mother, I say now, well done, baby girl. You have made us all very proud. I love and miss you tremendously. You will never be forgotten. Take your rest now, and thank you for teaching me how to love. I'll see you later, Mommy. With this rose, we remember Shantan Shanae Clay.
Christopher Hopkins, 56 years old.
Christopher Eugene Hopkins, aka Wee Wee, was a son, father, friend, and a family guy. He was a humble person. He could fix anything. He was a cool person, carefree. He had a laugh that when you heard it, you knew it was him. His smile was charming. He was my hero. He will be missed. My big brother, you are so missed. Should have named you Smiley. Your presence is so missed. People really don't know what a jewel you really were. I can't pay a bond and bring you back, but I know you wouldn't want to come back. I will see you again, Smiley. I love you, my brother, and missing you. With this rose, we remember Christopher Hopkins.
Stephen Pat Walker, 66 years old.
Growing up in Nashville, he was the best roller skater around. He moved out to California and managed roller skating rinks before returning to Nashville as his home. He is greatly missed. With this rose, we remember Stephen Pat Walker.
Otis Meadows, 49 years old.
When you encounter real angels on earth, there aren't enough words to describe the joy they have brought you once you have to grapple with their absence. To know Otis is to know that he was a consistent role model to everyone that crossed his path. To name a few of his roles, Otis was a loving brother, son, uncle, and dedicated service member, serving his country as well as his community. Not only did he run a business with his family, but also created more family along the way, one Meadows melt shaved ice at a time. And our personal favorite titles, father and husband. We as a family cannot begin to express our level of gratitude for you all's willingness to support us through this journey and deeply appreciate the extended love, support, and empathy. With this rose, we remember Otis Meadows.
Beverly McPherson, 42 years old.
Beverly was born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee. She was a beautiful soul, caring individual who loved life, nature, and being adventurous. What I remember most about my sister, who had just celebrated her 42nd birthday on June 17th, then was killed by her husband 9 days later. Then he killed himself. Such tragedy and devastation to her family, friends, neighbors, and co-workers. Beverly was employed at Garda World in downtown Nashville. She had raised 4 boys. One had tragically died to a car accident at the age of 5 in 2006. She loved her boys, who are currently 22, 18, and 16 years of age. Beverly, your presence is truly missed. Your sister, Deanna Burns. With this rose, we remember Beverly McPherson.
Jerry Birdwell, 54 years old.
Jerry was a very kind-hearted man. He loved animals and he could always make you laugh. He had the best sense of humor. We love him and miss him dearly. With this rose, we remember Jerry Birdwell.
Henry Rivera, 42 years old.
With this rose, we remember Henry Rivera.
Thank you all for being here today. To the families, thank you for sharing the gift of your loved ones with us. Please know that they will not be forgotten. They will live on in our hearts and in our community forever. As a professional in this field, I can promise you one thing. There are amazing people working behind the scenes every day to end these senseless tragedies. To the professionals working to eradicate domestic violence each day, your strength is immeasurable. Your dedication and perseverance through these uncertain times is inspiring. I've watched each of the organizations represented here today struggle through making tough decisions to make sure their staff is safe while continuing to maintain the utmost standards of care for each person who seeks out our services. Each of you give me hope. Finally, if you or someone you know has been affected by domestic violence, there is help available. Please see the resources on the screen or call the 24-hour hotline at 1-800-334-4628. We support you. Thank you again for attending. These resources will remain on the screen for a moment before we close the event. We are going to end the ceremony now, but thank you all so much for attending. And again, this recording will be available in the next few days to share with your communities. Thank you, and know that we appreciate you.